everybody. I have awoken from my slumber. I know I said I'd see you tomorrow. I see that at the end of every single video I make. And you know what? It's been a little longer than tomorrow. I got a haircut in that time, moved into a new house, built a booth that my father spent a lot of money on, and now I'm recording inside of. I've done quite a bit in that time. Maybe bought some new clothes, contemplated on buying a Switch 2. It's the usual, but I'm here now. I'm in said booth and I'm recording. And what a better time to be recording. Baby's first special. I know, it's my first special video where I talk about a very special topic for very special people. And today is a very special day for said special people. It's Valentine's Day. Don't we all love Valentine's Day? I know that I really don't love Valentine's Day. Shit sucks. It actually sucks. So, really this video is going to be me talking about like Valentine's Day, romance, stuff like that. And it's going to be from the perspective of somebody who is currently not in a relationship, someone who doesn't feel like being in a relationship right now, but someone who feels lonely when presented with said relationship around me at Valentine's Day, where everyone else is like being in a relationship. And I know a lot of people get down when they the time comes around, it's February, oh, it's Valentine's Day, you have a Valentine, no, and get all the advertisements, oh, buy chocolate, buy a little candy, buy a toy train set. I would love a toy train set. If anyone want to buy me a toy train set, I'd take it. It's just like bullshit like that. You see every single advertisement. You walk into Walmart, it's all red, it's hearts, they got everything themed for Valentine's Day, and then you just sit there and like, so I don't celebrate this. There ain't no one here I can celebrate it with, and it's just like a whole thing. So a lot of people end up feeling really lonely, and they say it's like the worst time to be single of the year. My whole goal for this video is to show people that it's not actually that bad, and not like of a, oh, yep, I'm the alpha male, I'm the cool guy, you should listen to me, because I know everything, and I will get you all the bitches, or women are bad, and you just, like, shouldn't have women in your life. No, that's not what I'm getting at. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you shouldn't be gay either, you shouldn't like men, shouldn't like women. The whole point of this video really is just, like, my own life experience, and, like, just kind of thoughts on relationships in general. So yeah, I guess I'll get into that. I guess the first part where a lot of people end up going wrong, at least in my opinion, is when they think that they really need a relationship to really exist in life. Like they want to be happy and they rely on a relationship to find said happiness, or they view their partner as their second half, which I really don't agree with at all. In my personal opinion, when if I'm getting into a relationship, it's less like I want to have another half of my world, and more like I want to share my world with that other person. Because like I want to coexist but not be codependent. I don't want to depend on them for my emotional regulation, my mental stability, my livelihood. This is a whole other human being. This is someone that you're obviously going to be spending a lot of time with your life with. If it's a serious relationship, you're probably looking to get married or just like live out your life with that person. You don't even have to go to marriage. So why take away all that time from them and rely on them and act like they are your second half when this person has their own life they've gone through, their own traumas, their own financial situations, their own jobs, their own family that they have, all of that around them, just for you to go into that and be like, yeah, and I need to rely on this person and they need to rely on me. In concept, great idea, right? I'm struggling, I'm having a hard time. I go to my partner and it's like, oh man, like it's rough. I'm in the trenches. I'm not getting rich. I'm broke. I'm poor. Help me, please. I need comfort. And then they come for you, and it's like, it's a great feeling because someone's there for you. And then vice versa, they come to you and they're like, damn, I need help. Man, like my dog died, and you comfort them, and then like everything's good. You guys start communicating to each other your problems, and then it gets bad because you start relying on that person to be your person that you always tell your problems to. And that's not good. And it's just like so romanticized in relationships, on television, and in any sort of media, really, like comic books, movies, television, anime, that this is like your second half. This is the person you can tell every problem to. Your relationship's gonna be perfect, blah 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 blah. And it's just like, it's not really that way, and I wish it could be that way. But psychologically, if you're telling your partner all the problems you have in your life, they're going to start internalizing that, and it's going to start to hurt them a lot, because then it's just problem central, where it's like all the love starts to leave, and then this is your therapist now. And I want to clarify too, it's not like I'm advocating for being stoic and not communicating your emotions at all either. What I'm saying is you need to learn how to manage those emotions by yourself before you can learn how to manage someone else's emotions and learn how to talk about your own emotions. Because if I don't know how to talk about my emotions and I get into a relationship and let's say they ate my sandwich and that made me sad, I'm going to tell them, hey, you ate my sandwich? That made me really sad. But it's going to come off way wrong, and the communication's going to be horrible, and it's going to be like, they're going to get upset, and it's going to turn into an argument, or they're going to leave hurt and feel not cared about. And it's just a sandwich, and I use a small, something so small because I don't want to get into anything serious. This is a fucking around channel. I'm fucking around. But really, you just have to, work on yourself, work on your communications, so that when you get into a relationship, you can communicate with them and have them not get upset, and they can communicate with you, and you can decipher what they're trying to say and learn how to handle what is going on and how to maturely act and react in a relationship, which is something a lot of people just lack now. I don't know when this happened, really. It just, out of nowhere, it just started happening. I don't know. Codependency's crazy. Another thing I also really didn't understand until a lot later is the, love yourself before you love another person. Because what I really thought this was is I have to be so full of myself. I have to have so much self-love. I took it literally. I have to literally love myself so much that I can go and love someone else, and then it's fine, and then I just fall back into old habits. Yeah, that metaphor doesn't really work that way. What it more so means, at least in my own personal opinion, I want to clarify, all of this is my own personal opinion, and I just navigate your way around what I'm saying to find what you agree with the most. Kind of like philosophy, reading a philosophy book and you pick up on some things. You're like, oh, I agree with this. I disagree with this. Have you open up your eyes a little bit? Or I'm just older brother playing. Anyway, loving yourself before you love another person isn't about, literally loving yourself. It is about having high enough standards for yourself to keep yourself healthy mentally and physically, that you allow yourself to keep higher standards for the person you're in a relationship with, which in like it sounds bad. It sounds bad because you're like setting this high bar that it feels like no one would be able to pass, you know. But that bar is really there for a reason, you know, so you don't get hurt or put into a toxic relationship that you do not want to be put in. You know, like if my bar is set to like somebody who's going to want to do things that I don't usually want to do, or is charismatic, or like messes with me sometimes, which is actually like stuff I do want. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I shouldn't have to lower that bar, because the moment I lower that bar, I'm disrespecting myself, and then I settle for someone who is bad for me in a lot of ways. And obviously, there's times you can lower the bar, like they're like a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. It's fine. They don't have to look fucking perfect. No one's gonna look fucking perfect. No one's gonna be perfect in your life. Ever. There's always gonna be things that are off about the person that you're with, that you're friends with, your coworkers, your cohorts, your peers, everyone around you. They all have something off about it, so there's never gonna be this like perfect, magnificent person that comes into your life. They're always gonna have their quirks. And it's also important to realize that that is the humanity that you have to develop. Think of your time being single as training time for when you're getting into that relationship, you know? While you're single, you can work on your communication skills. You can work on your self-love. You can start going to the gym every day, eating healthier. You can start respecting yourself and setting boundaries where they need to be with your friendships. You can do all kinds of things that you wouldn't be able to do in a relationship, and you wouldn't be able to do it in a relationship, not because your partner's holding you back, but because it's too late when you're in a relationship. You can't work on your communication like while in a, you can. You literally, you can't work on your communication while in a relationship, but you can't work on your communication in a relationship without hurting someone else. You can, however, do that while you're single. You can work on your communication. You can work on your self-love by investing in a lot of hobbies, or just doing stuff for yourself, you know, like go out to like a spa, or like take a bath or some shit. I don't know. Focus on yourself in like, I want to make myself healthier and a better person, and a person that I can look in the mirror and say, hell yeah, dude, like, this is me. I am cool as fuck. And eventually you'll get so into that you'll forget that you ever wanted a relationship in the first place. You'll be so focused on bettering yourself for yourself that having a girlfriend or a boyfriend or an NB friend, if you're a chaser, I don't know why you do that, but fucking, I don't know. It's like, it's good for you. It's genuinely is, because if you're worried about bettering yourself just for the purpose of being in a relationship, eventually you're going to lose yourself along the way. You know, you're going to worry about having the biggest, most bulging muscles, or you're going to work on, you meet a girl and she like really likes sharks, and you're more a dinosaur guy, so you start studying up about sharks, and you're suddenly a shark guy just because you want to be with this girl, or this, you find this dude and he really likes swords, and you're more of a gun person, and you just like you sacrifice so much of yourself, so much of what you love, so much of what you like to this other person, that you start to lose yourself, and not just in interest, but in your own personality, you know, because this has happened to me before. I'm speaking from my own personal life experience of being in a relationship before. You know, I mean, like, you get into that, and you start to shift your personality to fit what they think is funny, to fit what they like and what they want to see from you, and you know, it's really bad if you get with the wrong person, because instead of, you know, you being, you know, the person who's conditioning himself or herself, you become the person being conditioned by your partner, because there are some partners who will condition you into believing that you should act or shouldn't act a certain way, when how you act is perfectly fine. Like, if you goof around a little bit, like, and not even harmful goofing around, like, if you like a fart joke, and they're like, no, that's fucked up, man, you can't like that. That's totally wrong, and you shouldn't stand for that, which is why you need to have that self-love, is so you can look at that and be like, I don't deserve that. There's a lot of things that you can work on while you're by yourself to make your future relationships even healthier than what they will be now, if you got in one right now. And a big part of that is the attachment styles. You know, I'm gonna do a quick Google search to make sure I got them right, because I don't remember the names, but I do remember roughly what they are. Yeah, okay, so I did a quick Google search. It's anxious, avoidant dismissive, and avoidant fearful, and the last one being secure. So what I'm trying to hit the head on the nail with is work on your attachment styles first and foremost, because I'm going to read them off here. Anxious has sensitive nervous system. You know, you're a bit sensitive. You hear something and it's not meant to be taken as badly as it was, but you're still like really hurt by it, or more than what you should be. Or like, you have a horrible time communicating. Like I mentioned earlier, you're hurt. Let's just use the sandwich example. Your boyfriend eats your sandwich. You go up to him and you're like, radio silence. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Because you're worried about hurting his feelings, so then he just continues to go and eat your sandwich every time it's in the fridge. And that's going to eventually hurt you, because it's a continued action that you cannot communicate on, so he knows to stop doing it. There's also acting out when you're a bit upset. So instead of communicating, hey, you ate my sandwich, like, I kind of wanted my sandwich, you're like, you're a fucking piece of shit, asshole, piece of absolute garbage, piece of work, piece of poop. Every single thing in the book. They're going to call you names. They're going to yell at you. They're going to, like, push you down the stairs, break your Microsoft Dinosaurs CD, kick you in the groin, bonk you on the head. Like, they'll get aggressive, and sometimes it'll even get to an abusive kind of point, which is where you can tell, like, you know, this isn't the kind of relationship I want to be in. If you're that person who has that anxious attachment style, you should really, like, you know, spend this time working on yourself. Not because you're, like, broken, you're unfixable, because you're a horrible partner, but because you need to make yourself the best partner you can be for your future partner, and they need to do the same for you. Same idea for avoidant dismissive, which is downplays the importance of relationships. You know, oh, it's fine, bro. I just go sleep with someone else. It's not fine. That's not fine. Self-reliant, where they're like so avoidant and afraid of attachment, where they only rely on themselves and their own self-regulation. That's when you get traumatized by another relationship, and you don't want to go through it again, so you detach yourself from that person so hard that now with all of your future relationships, you just can't anymore. You can't. And that sucks. It sucks when people develop that, but sometimes you have to learn how to break that. And when there's a massive crisis, you know, that's when they'll finally become vulnerable. They'll break down, and then you'll see their actual emotions. And you don't want to see your partner's emotions when they're at their worst. You want to be able to always be open with your partner, and vice versa. That'll make everyone comfortable in the end. Like, I promise it will. It's not going to be bad. It's not going to be horrible when you tell them how you feel. And it's perfectly okay to struggle with telling people how you feel as well. It's not a problem. You know, it's just how life be sometimes. Avoidant fearful is where you're codependent completely. Oh, horrible voice crack. Codependent completely. And you're You're the opposite of avoidant dismissive. You strongly fear rejection. Your self-esteem is horrible and it purely relies on your partner. And you have the worst anxiety in your relationships, you know? It's just like the definition of codependent. I don't want that. I don't want my partner to be like that. I don't think you want that or your partner to be like that. And that's where the last attachment style comes in, which is the one we all should be aiming for. In all actuality, we should try to like bring this back, which is the secure attachment style, which is where you guys can trust each other and you guys can understand that you guys are human. You fuck up sometimes, it's fine. I think the definition of the secure attachment style is when, you know, I'm going to go to the gym with my friends and it's going to be like 2 dudes and a woman, and my girlfriend or boyfriend is like, yo, like, you can't do that. Like, you're not, or they're paranoid about cheating. No, that is not it. That is not the secure attachment style. They're like, oh, have fun. And they're purely supportive of it. And they're not afraid of you going and cheating on them or hurting them. A, B, and C thing that isn't going to happen. They trust you and you trust them. The mutual trust is there. It is rooted and you're okay just like knowing that your partner isn't going to go off and cheat or do anything stupid like spend all the money. You just have that like trust with each other, and that's great. That's what everyone should be aiming for, I think. The other thing with the secure attachment style is attuned to emotions. You're emotionally mature as a person. You understand this person is upset for this reason. This is what needs to change. Or I don't understand personally why this person is upset, but from their point of view, I get it. Like, I understand and I will help. That is very important in a relationship because there's going to be so many times where you don't know why they're upset, but you need to just take a moment, step back and think, why? Like, why is this happening? Why are they crying? And then empathize with them. Get some empathy. Really. And it doesn't take a lot of effort. None of these things take a lot of effort, but yet it's so hard in execution to do it, which is why, you know, the work needs to be there. Even I'm working on it. Can't communicate. Upsets directly. Hey, you ate my sandwich. That made me feel bad. I wanted my sandwich. Oh, okay. I won't do that. Problem solved. Everything's fine. That's all it has to be. It didn't have to blow up. It didn't have to have any fear in between. Like, what if they break up with me if I don't? If I tell them they ate my sandwich, what if they break up with me because I don't let them eat my sandwich? It doesn't have to be like that. It really doesn't. You can just exist. Like, it's fine. You two can eat sandwiches and not eat sandwiches and tell each other how you feel about said sandwich. And that's also a problem if they start to argue back when you tell them, hey, you ate my sandwich. They're not making a healthy relationship for you by saying, like, well, maybe if you didn't leave it in the fridge in that specific spot. No. You ate the sandwich. Grow up. It's a sandwich. Like, it's not that bad. Like, just don't eat someone else's sandwich. The other thing is leads with cooperative and flexible behavior in relationships. Yeah, just be cooperative. Don't be a dick. And that's pretty much all relationships, like, come to. Don't be a dick. And don't rely on your partner either. You have to find that happy middle in between relying on them and not avoiding them. And also not being a dick. Relationships aren't as complicated as what people say they are. And I can guarantee you a lot of people in relationships right now don't understand what they're doing. And unless you're like in your 30s watching this, I'm 18. You know, this is the environment I've put myself in. I'm around a bunch of teenagers doing some dumb shit. And it's fine. Like, fuck it, we ball. Just like, no, if you're on Valentine's Day and you're alone, that's perfectly fine. Go do something for yourself. Love yourself. Be your own partner for today. Treat yourself. Like, light up 5, 10 candles. Go take a bath. Go to a masseuse. Take yourself out to eat. Buy yourself chocolates. You know, you don't have to have a partner to be happy. You have yourself. And you're always going to be here when everyone else isn't. You're the only person you have to rely on. That's for sure always going to be here. So make sure you love yourself while you can, because I'd hate to be stuck with someone that I dislike. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Have a great night. I know it's a bit on the lengthy side.